Hello, Internet. This is going to be a review for a whole package I bought to kind of compare with a cheaper version of the GoPro. If you have money and you don't mind spending it, and money's not an object to you, then just go ahead and buy the GoPro. Buy all the GoPro accessories. You're probably going to pay 2 to 3 times more, but it is a better camera in my opinion. But it comes down to value to money trade-off to me, and I feel like if money is important to you and you don't have a lot of money, that this is a good budget option for you. So I bought the Ablegrid SJ5000 camera. I bought 2 extra batteries with it and an extra charger, the 32 GB SD card, and I bought the accessory kit. The accessory kit I actually paid $19.99. The reason why you see $31.99 is it was a $12 off promotion that they ran, and they actually run this fairly often. I found it on slickdeals.net. If you do want to check that out, slickdeals.net, just do a search and you can see that they've run this promotion before. All these adapters and things that come with this accessory kit do work on both the GoPro and on the Ablegrid that I'm reviewing. This is the camera right here. As you can see, it has mixed reviews. I think the bad reviews, though, are from people that either A, got one that was dead on arrival, mine was not dead on arrival, it worked fine, or those that are comparing it to a GoPro. And you can't compare a $300 GoPro to a $62 camera. You just can't. It's two different things. One big thing about this camera is it only goes up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. The GoPro and some of the nicer cameras go up to 60 frames per second, so more frames, smoother video. So that's really, I think, what you're buying, or you're buying the nicer lens that's built in. But for a budget camera, this is a great camera. I actually want to show you some video clips of me using the camera because I feel like that to me is the ultimate test. It does do everything it says. It has the Wi-Fi feature. I haven't used it, but I know it has it. It does take pictures, and you could switch between 1080p at 30 frames. You could do 720 at 60 or 720 at 30, or there's even like one other resolution below that, and you could do that with the camera. There's already people that unbox this thing, so you can find some other unboxing videos. I really want to focus more on the actual videos. So here's a couple pictures. First off, so there's a picture. I'm in the shade here. These trees are shading me, but it's a sunny day. If I don't have a picture, and then this is an inside picture in natural light coming from this window over in the upper right. This is my brother's desk. I know he needs to replace it. And there's my dog Sheila. So decent for no flash. And especially I was probably moving the camera, as you can see some blur in here. If you were to take the photo in full sunlight, like on the beach or something, I feel like this camera would take magnificent photos. This camera definitely feeds on light. So the more light you give it, the better. So let's go to I have the camera hooked up to my computer right now. We'll go into movies. I started to rename them. Yes, I did. Okay, so I shot a bunch of movies. Let's start with bicycles first. So this is an action camera. I use it primarily for bicycling and motorcycling. And I also would like to take it scuba diving with me or snorkeling, but I haven't been snorkeling or scuba diving since I've purchased this thing. So I haven't been able to test it with that, but I'm sure it's amazing. So first off, in these videos, I took off the back plate and I added the one that allows sound in. So just so you know, this camera, just like the GoPro, I think is similar. That it is waterproof when you get it. However, they give you a you could take off the back piece, and then you can put one on that comes with the camera. It comes with the camera when you buy it. That's this piece here. This piece actually has 2 holes right here and right here. And what those holes do is they allow sound to get to the microphone on the camera. Now the microphone on the camera is not good, but it's still some sound versus you will get 0 sound. It will sound totally silent when you're taking videos if you leave that back case on. So I've raised my speakers up and you can see what it sounds like with the non-waterproof case that does allow sound in. There's not much sound, but there's a little. So let's start with riding a road bicycle. So shade, sunlight. As you can see, sunlight looks great. And you can just hear the road noise. This is mounted on my handlebars. Okay? So that's a road bicycle with the back on it that allows sound in. Here's my mountain bike, but on the road. So not a road bike, a thicker tire, but I'm going down one of the steepest hills in Hayward, California, Carlos B. So that was pretty fast. I'm somewhere between 25 and 35 miles per hour, probably going down that hill in a mountain bike. And these are all recorded at 1080p at the 30 frames per second, by the way, which is the highest setting this camera goes to. And now let's do a mountain bike where you're going to be on tough surface. I don't have my front suspension on, but I have it mounted to my handlebars, so you're going to get a lot of shake with the rocks, which I didn't particularly like, but I think you're going to find that issue with most cameras. As well as I'm going to go through shadows. So sometimes I'll have sunlight like this, and then sometimes I'll go underneath trees with shadows. So let's see that. So this is an extremely bumpy part of this particular trail. So this is as crazy as you're probably going to get. So as you can see, it moves the camera quite a bit. The thing I don't like is when you are in the shadows, like here's a darker area, it does struggle for clarity. Like see right here when you go under a tree. So if you're going to be in natural light and you have good lighting, this camera is awesome. And you can see it actually adjusts to the light fairly quickly. Not amazing, but fairly quickly. But it does its job. And if you can get it in that sweet spot with the good lighting, it looks good. Now let's take a motorcycle. This was what I did was I have a motorcycle helmet and I put the sticker on top of it with the little mount. The little sticker mounts, the 3M sticker mounts, and then I had the camera facing forward. I think if I was to do it again, I'd have the camera facing up a little more, as you'll see. But let's first start it off at a stoplight, what it sounds and looks like at a stoplight. So that's at a stoplight to a start. And as you see, once the wind starts picking up, it really gets noisy, as you're going to see in this next video. Here's going much faster on the motorcycle. So there you have a couple of different videos. Some, as the sun was setting, some with shade, some in the morning, some with natural light. Overall, I'm really happy with the camera. I think it's going to do great, especially like on tropical vacations and places that have more light. I think the GoPro, I've seen GoPro footage and it is better footage. But for the price, I think this is a great budget option, especially if you want to if you want to do a project and you want multiple angles and you want to do all this cool stuff and you need 3 cameras to do it. I mean, you can buy these 3 cameras for the price of one GoPro. But again, I mean, for sure, the GoPro is a better camera. But for the price, this is a good alternative. And I think as GoPros get better and better, and as these knockoffs get better and better, we're going to be able to have these action cams for under $50 that will shoot as good a picture as the new GoPros do. The other thing that I didn't talk much about, but is just image stabilizing. I mean, it doesn't matter what camera you have. A lot of this has to do with your camera being stabilized. You're not moving it. So the more stable the camera, the better picture it's going to take, no matter what the camera is. So I think that's another thing to consider is, depending on what you're doing, if the camera is moving a lot or if it's unstabilized on whatever object it's mounted to, you're going to have a shaky image no matter how good the camera is. So that's another issue all on its own, is stabilizing your camera. But for a cheap little camera, this is great. Again, not, I would say the biggest downside is not good low light skills and ability. The GoPro also doesn't have amazing low light ability, but it has better than this one. So overall, I give this thing a B, and I think for the price, it's good. Compared to a GoPro, yeah, it would be an F. It would fail or be like a D. It's not a competitor to the GoPro, but for a budget option, this is definitely a good choice. If you have any comments or questions, please reply below. I'd love to answer your questions. It does more than this. It's got the HDMI out. It's got all these other little specifications, but you can look that all up online. But if you do have a specific question for your application, just ask it below and I'll be happy to answer it for you. Please subscribe. Please watch some of my other videos. It really helps me get motivated to make more. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it.